Hey guys, what's up? So this is a question I've been getting quite frequently is do we need to be using protein powder, protein bars, protein supplements in our diet? And the answer is no. So protein is extremely important for us, especially when it comes to retaining muscle mass, to making sure that we're eating a good ratio of protein, carbs, and fats in our diet, and also to make sure that we are feeling satiated with each meal and that we are able to burn the most calories as possible. So when you're retaining your muscle mass or you're building new muscle, that means that lean body mass is being created in your body, and that is going to lead to just more calories burned over time just by existing, because muscle is going to burn a lot more calories versus body fat. So when it comes down to protein supplements, a lot of people will drink a protein shake after a workout because they feel like that's what they're supposed to do, or maybe they heard that. And that's great if that's something that works for you, but it's 100% not necessary. If you prefer after a workout to eat a protein dense meal, so something with maybe chicken or salmon or any sort of fish, any sort of vegan proteins like tofu, tempeh, vegan fake meats, egg whites, things like that, those are full of protein. You don't have to do both. You do not have to drink a protein shake and then go eat that meal. Again, right after your workout, you do want to be consuming an adequate amount of protein, but it doesn't have to come from a liquid form. It can come from a full meal. So me personally, I will never make a protein shake. I don't remember the last time that I actually did drink one. I do have all these protein powders, and P Science is probably the best brand that I've ever tried. I love them so much. The reason why I have these is because I like to create desserts and different meals that I can put protein powder in to make it a healthier choice. And the way that I do that is I'll make like protein pancakes, I'll make muffins, I'll make different cakes, donuts, things like that, and I'll make them with the protein powder so that I satisfy my sweet tooth and I'm not putting in all the butter, sugar, flour, all of that stuff that you would put into regular desserts. So this allows me to really enjoy the foods that I love every single day. And that's why I incorporate protein powders. I use it pretty much every day, at least in my oatmeal, if not multiple times throughout the day afterwards. But when it comes down to it, protein is still a source of energy. So our body is going to use these sources of energy, either protein, carbs, or fat. We're gonna break those down into glucose molecules and we're gonna convert that into ATP. And that's what we use every day for our energy, to fuel our workouts, to fuel our muscles, to live, to nourish ourselves. But whenever we eat in an excess amount of energy, and that is when we eat in excess calories, we're going to add that weight onto our body as fat. We're going to store it as fat because we're not using it right away. So if you're forcing yourself to chug down a protein shake after your workout and then you're eating your meal after that, and it's just unnecessary calories that you don't need, it may actually inhibit your process and it may actually cause you to gain weight. So again, it's being very strategic about what you're doing. If you need the protein shake and you prefer to drink that instead of eating the food, if eating a meal afterwards is just not something you like to do, then by all means, go for it, drink the protein shake and enjoy it. But if you feel the need to force it down and then eat a meal afterwards too, you don't have to do that. Unless you're like a 250-pound man who's trying to build up your muscle, the average person doesn't need more than a gram of protein per pound of body weight, which I feel you can easily do just by eating whole foods, and maybe incorporating a little bit of protein if you want like a yummy snack or into your oatmeal or something like that, just sneak it in. But it's absolutely not necessary. If you do want to start creating those healthy meals, I would definitely suggest, unless you're vegan, but P Science also has a vegan option, but I would definitely suggest a whey and casein blend. I feel that I've used so many different types of protein powders in the foods that I make, and this one blends the best and it bakes the best as well. So definitely check these out. I'm not sponsored by them, but I really, really, really enjoy the taste and the flavor and how they bake. Vegan proteins, most of them come out really well. Also, True Protein is a good one. And as far as protein bars, I'll just touch on this very briefly. Again, they're not necessary. They're not magical. If you eat a protein bar, it doesn't mean it's going to make you lose weight. Again, it's just an option for you if you prefer not to eat whole foods, or if you're in a rush and you want something to eat. Just be very careful about the brands that you go with. Some protein bars claim to be protein bars, and they have maybe 6 to 7 grams of protein in them, and then the rest is all carbs and fat, and there's a bunch of sugar hidden in there. So they're really just mislabeled candy bars. That's what I call them. So this brand is pretty good, Built Bar. The flavor and consistency of them is pretty interesting. It's kind of like a Snickers without the wafer in the middle. They're pretty good. If you like protein bars and you want to include those in your everyday meal, just check out the label and make sure that you're getting enough protein in it. For me, I would say at least 20 grams in a bar, and make sure that the carbs and the fat aren't too high. And just check out the protein levels, check out the overall calorie levels, and just make sure that you're not consuming something that has like 500-600 calories for a tiny little bar. So yeah, that being said, you do not need to include these. You can if you want to, they're just an option, but you can very easily hit your protein goals by just eating whole foods. So if you guys have any other questions, I will be going over in another video about how to find the right protein bar for you.